Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like and down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, with these we did them all paused, and we did 5 by 5, and of course, well, some of those pauses were a little quick, they felt longer. I started with an ultra wide grip, meaning index finger, pointer finger on the rings, and then I worked it in every single set. So all 5 grips are different. So pretty much experimented with all 5 basic meet legal grips. Just brought them in as I went. So every set, the grip got narrower all the way until we got to a closed grip. One of the things I noted here, and then I ordered some shorty bands from Rogue. The longer bands are really a pain to set up on this device, on this thing. And I also have pen and pipe safeties coming. I do not like the safeties on this Titan bench. Like I want to say right up front, worst feature of it. Get rid of them ASAP. Get pen and pipes. They're so much easier. These are just hard to put on because of the way the thing lines up when you put all the pieces together. It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare to line up these sort of drop-down safety arms. Pen and pipe are better. They're overall safer, easier to adjust, just the way to go, and they're not even expensive. So if you're going to get this thing, get the pen and pipe safeties, trust me on it. Same ones I always use on my Rogue rack when I want to do heavy benching. I don't use the safety slings. So speed benching went pretty good. It really, even though, it's programmed the way someone like Winning would like, it almost feels really too light, but that's okay. It still does the job. We still get the speed work in. And then afterwards I did dumbbells. So it took me a minute to kind of get the setup good to where I wasn't kind of tapping the holders. First time really using the dumbbell holders. They do make things very easy. I went up 5 pounds. I only worked with 75 pounds. I haven't been doing the pinkies out type. I've only been doing very, very pronated in the past, and I haven't done them in months. So I really want to work the dumbbell presses on my dynamic days to help bring up my pecs, to do so in a way that has the lowest stimulus to fatigue ratio. And it's not that barbells aren't great, they are great. I do tons of barbell benching. You saw my speed bench, my max work. I usually use a barbell on max effort day for rep work. But in this case, I want to get the advantages of allowing us to use a lighter weight, be better for recovery, and the other benefits of dumbbells that I've described in the past, such as range of motion, the way that we fatigue. I really like them on the dynamic day. I think they're going to help me tremendously now that I am benching with a wider grip instead of only closed grip. It kind of makes sense to use these. And notice, I'm not all the way out at 90 degrees, but I'm also not pronating nearly as much as I normally do with a hammer grip. Again, the end result, deeper stretch on the pectoral. Get more mechanical tension there, which is one of the reasons we use dumbbells. Now, if that was the only reason, of course, I could use the McDonald bar, which I may start using more again on the max effort days for the rep work. And people need to remember, all this stuff's hypertrophy. We get max work, we get speed work in. It's optional as far as using a straight bar for the rest of our benching or trying to get technique. Again, the data we have at this point, even on elite benchers, shows that muscle mass matters more than technique. Not that technique doesn't matter, it just matters a lot less than we previously thought it did. And keeping in mind, the bench is the most technical of the big 3. So in other words, just get your upper body stacked, get your pecs, delts, triceps, upper back big. You'll probably have a big bench. So I'm just going to work on that. Those are all, 10 to 12 reps, and I'm just going to bump the weight up every week. They're stimulating enough, they're fatiguing. I get a burn in my chest, even if they aren't a failure, which isn't required. So I'm just going to progressively overload them for a little bit. I'm going to add weight, and part of it is me getting used to the movement pattern. I haven't done dumbbell pressing in a little while, and I never dumbbell press at those angles, but I'm trying to maximize my chest development on that because we have other exercises for delts and triceps, such as these. Now, I like to use the J-arm presses on max effort day, but I thought today on dynamic, I would do as much dumbbell work as possible. All right, let's just get into a bunch of dumbbells. Very bodybuilder-ish, but that's kind of the idea because we have the barbells for other stuff. Again, we do our max work and our speed work with it. Dumbbells, cables, machines, whatever we need to use for hypertrophy is perfectly acceptable outside of that. Use whatever tools you think are going to give you the best muscle mass, the best stimulus to fatigue. And notice as my overall volumes, rest times, everything else are a lot lower now. I'm just going to not try to beat my body up. Everything that I'm doing, diet, training, everything else is all geared towards recovery. Improving quality of life, all these things. And I'm just going to slowly rebuild my strength back up, keep pushing it back up, try to PR every time I get on the platform. I already have meets coming up again. My health is doing great. I've recovered quite a bit since I've moved from the black mold situation. In fact, I feel fully recovered from it now, fortunately. So again, people didn't pay attention to my statuses and they're thinking it's just a sinus infection. No, it wasn't just a sinus infection. All right, so we did 3 sets of 12 plus reps on those. I tried to grab an extra rep or two on the last set and I was able to, which means I could probably bump the weight up a little bit on those next time. All right, then I did wide grip pull-ups, and I don't care what anyone thinks about my range of motion. This is my safe range of motion that doesn't injure me. Keep in mind, my arms don't lift fully up. I've never been able to, even on overhead pressing. Can't even do what most people call a lockout with a broomstick. So I don't care. I get a tremendous lat and bicep pump. And when you guys have seen me shirtless, everyone freaks out about my lat size. So again, it all works. It works very well for me. So, 3 sets of 10 to 12 here. I ended up grabbing like 12 on the last set. So I'm just going to keep these body weight and I'll work reps back up. You guys have seen me do quite a few pull-ups when I was a lighter body weight and doing them all the time. So we're just going to work on performance. We're going to avoid overuse because that's what gets me on pull-ups. My ego gets in the way and I think I can do hundreds and hundreds of reps every week on pull-ups, and then I ultimately have gotten hurt. Again, I know better as a coach. I know what causes it, but again, our egos can get in the way, and I'm going to avoid that from now on. It's going to be 3 sets of pull-ups twice a week. That's it. I'm going to allow myself to do a single pull-up more than that, and I'll fill in the rest with rows and other stuff. So I went back to, instead of the seal rows, did the one-arm dumbbell rows, which I did for long phases. I feel like I get a lot out of dumbbell rows. I feel my grip improves, my forearms get bigger, my lats grow, everything grows phenomenally well from dumbbells. So I'm going to put them back in the rotation. And I really like seal rows, don't get me wrong. I really like seal rows. I just feel that I get so much from the dumbbell rows. I really do. I tend to benefit massively. I get a lot of gains out of them and a lot of different muscles. So to me, they're worth it. I may stick with them for a bit instead of rotating the seal rows back in. They're actually easier to set up anyways. Saves time. So 3 sets of 10 to 12 on these. Again, I got 12 reps on the last set. It means I need to add a little bit of weight. You can always use that as a benchmark when we're doing 3x10s. People say, well, when do you add weight? Well, you can use your last set to tell you. If you can get more reps on your 3rd set when you're doing a 3x10, then obviously you can probably handle a little more weight for all 3 sets. Yeah, you can bump it slightly. It doesn't have to be a big increase. It can be a small increase, right? That's all you need to know. Because again, you still may have reps in reserve with your 3x10, as long as you keep that jump conservative. And always use the 3rd set to tell. All right, first set of these looked awful. Haven't really seen the footage much until now because I filmed all of this in one go and stayed in the gym and didn't go inside with the camera until after I was done. All right, probably the 2nd and 3rd set looked better. I was getting in my groove. I haven't done dumbbell upright rows, I bet, in 15 plus years. And I'm like, let's do these. I like the upright rows as far as shoulders go. It's a little harder to cheat on these. Again, we get some of the benefits of dumbbells. I'm like, let's keep with the theme for the day of the dumbbells. just get a good pump in my delts. And of course this works biceps, forearms, grip, everything else. So, it does have some advantages of me just doing multiple types of different angle of lateral raises. So I decided again, do these. Same thing happened. I ended up getting about 12 reps on the last set, which means I could stand to go up in weight. All right, lateral raises. Went with the same weight I've been using. I know it's slightly sloppy. I don't need to increase weight on these right now. I might even benefit a hair from taking a little weight off, right? Which I may do. I'm still getting the entire delt work, all three heads, the upper traps of what I'm doing here. But, I do wonder if I could get a hair cleaner on these if I take some weight off, but I don't think it's hurting either. We're still getting some decent tension here, and I get a pretty good burn through my whole shoulder girdle. Then I did the third set from a different angle instead of the front angle, just to change things up, move the camera over. And then we finished off with one really high rep set of band press downs to, again, help with lockout strength, to help keep the tendons healthy with all those JM presses I'm going to do. And, I may reach a point where I do really, really high volumes on these again like I did. I don't think I need to run another phase of that right now. So one good set just to keep the elbows healthy, get a little extra tricep work, and we're good to go. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.